We are Holy Family Sisters, the association founded by Venerable Pierre Bienvenu in 1820. We have celebrated in 2020 our 200 years of existence. Actually, this is founded in Bordeaux, so we are called the Holy Family Sisters of Bordeaux. She is Sister Jesmin from Sri Lanka. At present, lives in Rome. Today she is going to answer some common questions about religious life. I have prepared some questions, 3 or 4 questions. I'm going to put them here and she's going to answer from her own perspective and experiences. So the first question, sister, what made you to decide to become a Holy Family Sister? How did you realize your vocation? How do you help someone who wants to become a religious?
Yes, speaking about my vocation story, I was a student, and then after my school years, I had my higher studies. Also, I worked as a draftsman. During that period, during maybe some years, I was feeling something I am longing for, but I am not getting. I tried to study, and then I thought that is what I am longing, but it was that. And then I was earning. I thought that was my longing, but it wasn't there. That this is in that search only. I thought I will be a nun. I will serve for the poor. That is how I thought initially. That is what we see in religious. One of my cousins, she is a Holy Family Sister. That is how I came to know about the Holy Family Sisters. And then she gave me a book about our founder. And when I read that, I found our founder is also a kind of a person who is seeking something in life. So it triggered me something in me. So that maybe that is where I chose the Sisters of the Holy Family.
Thank you, sister. But often people get confusion, not to understand, to realize God's call. If someone coming to you, how can you lead them? Is there any sign that they need to understand, okay, this is coming from God, that I need to go for it? So how you help a person coming to you?
Yes, now after years in my religious life, I was able to understand myself better than before. Then I was able to see myself also with the help of many, maybe some talk sessions, that maybe a person make decision because of hidden agenda even the person doesn't know. But through that, maybe for example, let's say somebody wants to be a nun. Not because she is feeling that she wants to follow Christ very closely, but she wants to run away from the life of the ordinary people. So that can be a reason, but then she doesn't know, or he doesn't know. How do you come to know about it? But it is how you listen to yourself deeply. Whether I am really wanting something different, or I am trying to run away from something. That is where you have to be honest to yourself. If, as you ask me, how do I help someone to discern her call, then I will help that person to listen deeply to oneself, whether there is, it can be maybe I come before because I don't want to be a married woman. I'm afraid of marriage. So maybe that is a hidden agenda, but through that there will be a call also. So how to discern in between the two, that needs a lot of listening, prayer, discernment. So that way the person will be able to understand her call.
This gives some kind of clarity, to people who are struggling to discern and to realize their own call. we move on to the second one, because religious life means it's always go with vow life. We take 3 vows to live our committed life. So your question is, why do we profess 3 vows, and how they help our committed life and community living, and why we don't take more than 3, because there are so many vows, no? So why only 3?
Yes, it may be because now we are a congregation or a religious institute, society or whatever in the church, and then church has a way of looking at religious life, and the founders of religious life, they have introduced something in the process. So that is how 3 vows have come. But then normally as human beings, as conscious being and any being, we are living for our survival without our knowledge. So in that process, we have a desire to have many things, possess many things. Through vow of poverty, we say no to many things, but to have whatever we want, only what we need. Because having many things shows that we are attached to many. By being detached from many things, we are free. So through vow of poverty, we make ourselves free for the kingdom of God. Same way, we listen to God through the vow of obedience. Because for our survival, we think we need power. We need authority. So vow of obedience invites us to listen deep to the will of God and discern, and to say no to power. That makes us free to live for the kingdom of God. The same thing, vow of chastity, because as human beings or any being, we have the desire for generate, for think of our next generation. So in a way that gives us that I have to protect my family, my clan, but through vow of chastity we free ourselves to love many people, have many relationships for the kingdom of God. Maybe that is why we have, though there are 3, there are many things inside those 3 vows.
Yes, normally we as consecrated people, we take 3 vows. No? That's also coming through the evangelical council, as we know that. But some monasteries, even some communities, they go for more, not only 3, but according to their charism, they take some other vows too, like vow of serving to the poor, vow of hospitality, vow of stability to God's love. So we need to say something about that too, no?
Yes, that's true. Because if you can see, I am wearing this black ring. It was given to me by a Latin American sister in Latin America. Because they had liberation theology, they take, it's not exactly vow, but it's a promise to work for the poor. So this reminds them of their vow or that promise.
The problems as our challenges, whatever comes, whatever we face in our daily living, those problems as challenges. But we need to remind ourselves, problems are not challenges, but the way we need to maintain our spirituality, the way we are responsible, the way we are going to live our world life may be challenging. So how do you think about the challenge in religious life? What is your own perspective towards that?
Yeah. Yes, Annie. Maybe I would like to share something here. When you said challenges and problem, normally even the following Christ, taking the cross, is misinterpreted in such a way, my problems are my cross. It is not. I give you an example. For example, I have fever. So I think now I have fever, this is my cross I have to carry for the salvation. It is not. If I have my fever, maybe doctor asks me to take the injection. It is also painful. It's a challenge. So take it there. To take injection is the cross. To go for salvation, not bearing of I have fever and then that is the cross given. No, to go forward and to take different means to come out of is to following Christ, taking the cross. So in religious life also, we can spiritualize sometimes our problems. This is the will of God, this is my cross. It is not. There are challenges to be more human, to be, if I use the word we have been using, to be holy, to be more God-like or Christ-like or Jesus-like. To be that, there are a lot of challenges in daily life. Not small things, but bigger than that, we have daily challenges to be that. That's the challenge and difficult problem I see in two different ways.
Religious life also means to live in a community, right?
Exactly.
Community means it's not that people come together to live in a house or under one roof, but that also means that we grow together, we listen to one another. So community life is a beautiful one, but at a time it is difficult also.
Yeah.
So your question, what qualities do you think we need for a healthy community living?
Yes. Now I am 26 years in religious life. I have lived maybe in 13. This is my 15th community. So initially it was really a problem for me, because different people, different ways of looking at it was a real challenge. After that I understood this is where I recognize myself. That is trying to live my image of God. That was a real experience for me, because each person is very different. Each one is coming with a broken self. Some of us are we are trying to understand ourselves, some of us are not, because each one of us takes our own space. So this is where I see it as a very good place for myself to grow. But if I am not an open person, I can't. When I am open, I try to give that space to the other person. I think one of the qualities we need in a community is self-reflection. Why it is happening to me? Because our tendency is always to put a blame on others. I am sad because of you. But if I sit and reflect what is happening to me, then I come to know myself. I see it as a very good opportunity, but you need to have that self-reflection, also charity. By charity I mean to give that person her space. That is also justice. And then help that person to grow and also to listen. Today, more than the older days, listening is a huge need today in community living and anywhere. So I see those qualities are needed in religious life today in community living.
Thank you, sister, and thank you for your enriching answers. Enriching in a sense that gives some kind of new ideas. Now it is opening ourselves. And those who are listening or will listen will also might get some kind of understanding of what is religious life.
Thank you very much. You are most welcome to join us to live this beautiful life.